Hello everyone, I'm Douglas C. Welch. Welcome back to another WordPress Wednesday. Today we're going to talk about another important aspect of getting started with your WordPress blog, and that is using categories to categorize your blog post. This allows people to easily find them and also allows you to create collections of blog posts based around a specific category. I consider categories one of the most useful parts of your WordPress blog because they allow you to use the power of the database that WordPress relies on to keep your blog organized and allow you to pull information out whenever you wish. When you're setting up your WordPress blog, it will typically just come with one default category, uncategorized. Not very helpful. But as you go through and create new blog posts, and in fact here we're looking at WordPress.com. This is the hosted WordPress blog on WordPress.com. You can see a series of posts here, and when I add a new post, one of the things that asks me right away is over here in the right-hand sidebar, what category would I like to apply this to this post? Well, in this case, let's say we're going to use a photo in here. So we'll say I'd like to title my blog post with something about the post itself here. So I'll say electric guitar. And over here in the right in the categories, I can say add new category, and I can start a new category for all my photos. Now you may notice this pop-up button here too about a parent category. Not only can you have main categories, you can actually have subcategories. So I could say photos, and then I could create a new category called perhaps photos Instagram, or photos camera, or photos nature, or whatever subcategories I'd like to apply to. In this case, we're just going to say this is going to be a photos category. We're going to say add new category, and then that category becomes available in our simple checklist here whenever we do a new blog post. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a photo that I put up today of Instagram. We're going to select the files. We're going to go over here to my Dropbox folder, camera uploads, and select that picture there, which I believe is the correct one. There it is. Great. We'll simply say open. That's going to then import it into my media library. And from there, I can simply insert it into the post. So there's our basic blog post. Of course, we could add text or whatever we wish to this blog post, but the most important thing I want to show you today is this is a photo. We're going to categorize it as a photo. Now, once we've done this, we're going to say publish. I'm going to show you some of the power that's available once you start categorizing your blog posts. If we go and view that blog post we just put up on our WordPress blog, you can see that in this particular theme, it calls out the category of each blog post right here next to the blog post. Sometimes the themes will put it at the bottom, but usually it shows the category of the blog post somewhere on the screen. And I'll show you another example on one of my self-hosted WordPress blogs in just a moment. Now what this means is a user can come in and they can see a photo of yours, and then they can look at the category and they can actually click the word photos. All the categories become links, and it shows you, it says view all posts in photos. What this means is this link will automatically pull up all the blog posts in your blog that you've categorized as photos or any other of your categories. This is very powerful because it allows users to dig down into your blog and find older content that might be related to their interests but that aren't on the front page of your blog. Using one of my own self-hosted WordPress blogs as an example, we can look down to the bottom of this post on career opportunities, and you'll see, as is typical with a lot of my blogs, there might be several categories associated with each blog post. So down here at the bottom, you can see that this current blog post at the top of my blog is labeled as an announcement, speaking, special, and Tuesdays with transitioners. And just like I showed you with the earlier test blog post, I can, for example, click on speaking, and it's going to bring up all the posts about my speaking opportunities, my videos of me speaking, and other events that I might be speaking at. It's a great way, and it's very powerful for people to be able to dig down into your blog. Now, the other feature that it brings to you is it allows you to link to categories on your blog for future blog posts. For example, at the bottom of this blog post, I can actually put in my own link that says, also, here are other blog posts about speaking or about photography. The way I do that is if I look up here in my address bar, you'll see that when I click on a category, I get a special URL. I get the normal URL for the blog, welchwright.com/career, the word category, and then the name of the category. Now this is a short name. It's called a slug line that is used as part of the URL. It's very, very simplified. The actual category name could be much longer, and I'll show you that now. If I go into my dashboard for my Career Opportunities blog and I again click on Post and then Categories, you'll see all the categories I've set up. And for each category, you'll see the category name and the category slug here. And you'll see the slugs are all very, I'll use the term DOS-like, like the old MS-DOS file names. Basically, 8 or more characters, no spaces, only dashes between words if you wish that, like you'll see here, creativity-2, for example. Now, if I wanted to create a new category from here or edit an existing category, in fact, let's do that. We're going to edit the audio category. We click on Edit. And we'll see here's the name, and I can change that name to whatever I wish. It could be audio, it could be podcast, it could be any word that I like. It could be audio for podcast, for example. It can be much longer than just the slug itself. The slug will remain audio, nice short term that I can easily use in my URLs. This is a parent category. It's a top level category, but I could also come in here and I could say, this could also be underneath another one of my categories. Now, if you're doing subcategories, it does pay to take a little time and give a little attention to those categories. Now, one of the examples that they give, as you can see here, is you have a jazz category. Say your blog is about music. Well, under jazz, you could then have jazz bebop or jazz big band or jazz smooth and help you to subcategorize your blog post as well. I don't tend to use category descriptions as shown here. Most themes don't tend to show them, at least the ones that I use, and so they're not very useful to me. When I'm done adding or editing a category, I simply click Update, and then that category will be available anytime I place a new blog post. I hope this quick introduction into categories has helped you out, and I also want to reiterate that if you start categorizing your blog at the very beginning, WordPress ends up doing all the work for you. All you have to do is select one or more checkboxes when you make a new blog post, and the database of WordPress handles everything else and will allow you and your readers to pull out information that they find most useful. This has been WordPress Wednesday. I'm Douglas C. Welch. Until next time, keep on blogging. For more information on WordPress, visit wordpress.com.